I have the pleasure of interviewing Diana Gracida, who is the owner of Nana Studio, incredible brand and creative studio based out of Los Angeles and has worked with many consumer brands and whatnot. Hi, Diana. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
Right on. Perfect.
Vamos. All right, so we're going to be one question and one question only. First of all, before we go into it, I love the art in the background. Can you tell me a bit more about that stuff?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, it's a collection I have from different artists, including me. And yeah, so I just like to be surrounded by inspiration. And this is my working space. Yeah, that
I feel
the,
you. I love it.
made it myself. The flowers are vintage. I bought them in a market.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's from a really amazing that I love, that I
Okay,
follow.
amazing. I want to get right into it. So, when you take on a new client for branding and creative for Nana Studio, explain to me kind of your discovery process when you're trying to create the brand identity and all that.
Well, first of all, of course, I ask the client what does he wants. But I come across a lot with my clientele. Some of them, few of them, they have their idea very clear. So it's also that's part of my job, like helping them to make things more specific of what they want to their product or their service they're offering. So I really suggest for them to follow this 12 rule archetype that exists out there that is super super helpful, and if you base your brand in this guideline, it's probably is going to be very successful because it helps you to determine your communication and your personality, and you connect with emotions with your target audience.
Can
Yeah.
you describe the 12 rule outline?
Well, this is something that a psychologist from Switzerland, I believe, Suiza, invented. He developed these 12 archetypes. These are universal patterns that we all in this world will carry in our unconscious. Let's say it's hero, the innocent, the creative, the lover, explorer. So all of these concepts, there are 12, they define your target. And these elements have emotions. So what are you going to convey with your marketing or with your brand? How are you going to communicate with the people? How is going to be your language? What emotions do you want to convey? You want to convey security, you want to convey exploration, freedom, if you're an explorer. For example, Red Bull has the slogan, Red Bull gives you wings. Oh, it's about freedom, it's about exploration. They actually contract people like extreme sport people.
Right.
So it's a whole communication you have to maintain. It's like having an identity with emotions to communicate your branding. And this way you're gonna feel more attached to your tribe. You're gonna find a tribe that follows those emotions. That way they connect with you in another level, more emotionally, and they're gonna come to your brand ready to buy or explore your products in a deeper level. Also, it helps because certain personalities, like let's say the hero or the creative, the hero relates, color psychology, the colors relate to emotions. So in that way, if let's say you have a creative, you are the creative archetype, you find the colors that transmit those emotions. So in that way, and also font types, bolder, lighter, calligraph, so in that way you structure your brand more in detail and more accurate to your needs or the message you want to give to people.
Amazing. Can you actually read me the 12 archetypes? And it's fine if you need to use your phone as a cheat sheet or your computer, because
Yeah,
that's super interesting. And I've never done that process, and I've created a lot of brands. So
yeah,
even I'm learning,
yeah.
which obviously the purpose of this is for other people to learn from very experienced people in this domain like yourself. So I would love to just go through each one of those 12, and we can do it quickly,
Yeah, no
just to
problem.
understand.
Yeah, I mean, they're out there. You just Google 12 archetypes and you'll find a lot of information. But yeah, there's the explorer that conveys freedom, outlaw, liberation, the magician, the power, the kind of like magic, what he can invent everything. The hero that is a master on everything, the lover, for intimacy or connection, the jester that brings joy, the everyman that belongs, caregiver that gives a service, the ruler that controls, the creator that is innovation, provides structure, gives new ideas, the innocent that provides safety and sage. So all these 12, if you put them in a circle, the center will be four emotions, your four targets. Like the innocent, the sage, and the explorer explore spirituality. The outlaw, the magician, and the hero leave a legacy. The lover, the jester, the everyman pursue a connection, and the creator, the ruler, and the caregiver provide structure. So if you follow this, you will find yourself going through like a more detailed channel that you know how you need to communicate to your target audience. And you
Wow.
don't to one. You can, your main character, your main archetype is the hero, but you also are a caregiver. So you can convey different archetypes. I wouldn't suggest to do many, but stick to one and maybe have two. You can do, actually, there's a lot of surveys online. So you follow the survey, you answer the survey, but please make sure you don't answer the survey with your own emotions. Just think you are the brand. You are the brand because we have different interests, and our brand doesn't have our own taste. So you need to have that mind that is not your personal taste. Is what is the taste that's gonna have your brand.
That's amazing. Yeah, a lot of the questions I was going to actually follow up and ask you answered because one of the questions was, is it okay to have multiple archetypes, or maybe you have like a parent archetype and then like call it two, three sub archetypes. And then you brought up a very important point that a lot of times brand founders and or creative teams, sometimes they put too much of themselves as the customer. So it's
Yes,
important to separate yourself from the customer. You can be the customer too, but to understand that sometimes it's not one and the same, because you can make the mistake of maybe creating something that's so specific for yourself that may not attract a broad audience.
exactly. We all have different tastes and different feelings, but we shouldn't take our own personal approach to your brand. Of course, there's something that you know that you want to achieve and everything, but you need to have the open mind to maybe have something that you never try or something that is not so comfortable for you because it will be good for the brand. So
Right.
yeah, and even happens to me when I'm creating logos. It's really funny. Almost 90% of the time when I'm gonna present the logo, I at the end I put the logo at last that I don't like the most, but me personally. So I said, I don't think this is amazing, but of course I put effort into it and I think it's good. I'm gonna put it. And a lot of the times the people choose that one. Now I don't put my emotion into the logos. And so that's a lesson I learned myself to presenting my own logos.
Right. Amazing. Well, where can people find you online?
Well, I have my website, nanastudio.com, and I have Instagram, which is my name, Diana Gracida.
There we go. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much. That was super insightful. I'll leave all the information on the caption. Thank you very much.